All right. Hi, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you're going to try to take on the healthy finances portion of what we've talked about. This is actually something we covered in one of our focus groups. If you're watching it down the line, that we did on one of the topics that was really greatly desired, which was budgeting like a champion. We evolved it into talking about creating wealth, and wealth isn't just necessarily about how much money you make. Although we do want to encourage everyone to thrive in this area of your life. I don't feel like enough, just like our health, I don't feel like enough people encourage people to thrive on this. But this will help you, if you don't have a system for tracking your finances, this is what we use for our household. And this will help you create a budget for your house so you can start creating rather than reacting to your finances, just like you create rather than react to your health. So a lot of people have questions on this, and if you want to know how to utilize this document, I'm going to show you how to do this and how to get started and how you can build on it. I do have to say this is something I created based on a lot of different theories of financial management that I've gotten a hold of. I am not an expert in this area, although Ashley kind of brought me to share this because she would say that I am an expert in this. I budget extremely well, and this is not to brag on myself, but I want to show you guys some stuff that by the age of 30 years old, we have built and paid for a house in cash. We have saved very diligently for retirement. We have a lot of money of savings built up in the bank. We know where all of our money goes and we tell it where to go. And we're very conscious of creating a lifestyle based around what matters most to us. That's what creating a budget like a pro looks like. So if you're looking to get started, this is where I would start. I want to show you this document that you can utilize and how it works together, but mostly it's just the starting one because it really starts with the starting things. And I covered it on the call last night. Before creating a budget, I would ask yourself these three questions. What matters most to you? Where are you currently at? And where do you want to go next in your life? So those are the three questions you want to ask. And before I go into this, I want to disclaimer it even more. This is not a Take Shape for Life Optavia document, although our program is really helping people awaken their full potential in healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. So if you're new to this and you want to learn more of what I'm talking about, please ask your coach on this. But this is a document that might help you where there's not a lot of easygoing help in this subject. So one thing we talked about on the call last night is a travesty that most of us just get thrown into life and say, all right, you're just supposed to know how to budget. This is something I've learned through a lot of good mentorship, through mentors in in our Take Shape for Life Optavia community, but also just a lot of hard ways of doing it. And I've helped a lot of people utilizing stuff like this. So if you're using this document, I'll show you what to do today, but also just how it works. So you can look down here at the bottom. First, you have a year summary. So this will help you track your finances through an entire year. So you can see to treat your life like a CEO. You can start to develop your own budget so you can clarify where your money is going, where you'd like to allocate to go, and all that in between. So you can figure out how much you're making and how much where your money goes. This document right here, because I kind of categorize utilities into a lump sum, although I do list it on the page, this will help you figure out what your utility costs are. So you can start listing these things like how much do I spend on my cell phone? How much is my garbage? How much is my cable, internet, and phone? How much do I spend on electrical, gas, water, all the things that you pay probably monthly for utility-wise for your household. And then this is the most important right here besides your budget. And this is where you'd want to start today is start with your household budget and start with your financial goals. And I listed like things that you could start with. And I wrote et cetera because I can't tell you what your goals are or what matters to you. But I would things like have a certain amount of money in the bank. We talked about savings and how important that is. Increasing income to a certain amount of income a month. So figure out how much you currently make so you know what to do with those funds. So how much funds do you have available to tell your money where to go? And also, what would you like to increase that to? Do you have the opportunity to increase that to? Saving blank money for a trip. Most people want to travel, but they don't think they can do it. And you can accomplish anything if that's something you want to desire to do. Start a retirement account. That just was an example in case you guys haven't done that yet. Then it's really encouraging, and I have a great resource for you if you guys are looking to do that. And then some people, it's actually paying off credit card debt. Lots of people have credit card debt. So making a goal to pay that out, current reality. And then anything that matters to you in this subject. So this page will help you figure this out. It'll help you make goals. It'll help you figure out exactly where you're at. And then you can actually track it month by month. I'll come back to this. But each month down here, you have a day filled out or a month filled out where you can fill out your budget. So the way that we do it is we have a food budget. So I actually go into my account and I figure out where we spend our money at. So like I even group it up into like Starbucks, particular restaurants we go to. It's the store, anything that we spend money on food. And so I just list it in there so I can know, I can make a list, like I can actually make an intention of what I want to spend our money on for that. And then I list it again here. And then at the end of the month, see where you are on that budget. In our household, we like to be able to have freedom to go spend money on ourselves, but we just don't do it randomly. So we allocate a budget for ourselves every single month. So figure out what that budget is. So, in our household, Ashley has a budget and I have a budget, so that we can figure out those things. Then you have bills and utilities. So like under this would be like, you can list out the different things. Like on mine, I actually have it listed out and I kind of have the amount set and I fill it in there each month as it comes out of my bank account. I usually do this mid-month and at the end of the month. And if you really spend time doing this will only take you about an hour each month to really capture a hold of your finances. You can even take it one step further, by the way, in the middle of this, and you can actually pull out money ahead of time and do the envelope system. If no one's ever taught you that, you can actually pull out your money and instead of spending it on cards, you can actually allocate it. So like when I was teaching Ashley this for the first time, like she said, this is not something she excelled in. I would pull out a certain amount of money that we would agree upon and she could have that. She could do whatever she wanted with it, but she saw where the money went and she could spend it until it was gone because she wanted to only spend a certain amount of money on those things. So anyways, back to utilities, your rent or your mortgage, your cell phone bill, your garbage, utilities, if you're making payments on your taxes, if you pay your taxes, if you're self-employed, if you have, babysitting or gas funds or your car payments or anything like that, this can go in this thing so you can figure out where it's at. Again, set a total. This should actually be more of a set total. Up here, you can allocate what you want to spend. And then play, travel, and gifts. Like, are you accounting for gifts that you buy? Travel that you want to do? Playing out. Like, we have a budget for that kind of stuff so that we can stay within it. We also, if we are doing this the way we want to do it, we set aside a certain amount of money to build up 4 trips each year. I mean, it is our goal to travel multiple times a year. So we save up money for those trips. And then lastly, if you have business budgets as well that you put in there. So like if you have your own business or et cetera, you can put in money that you want to set aside for this. So for us, that is our accountant. That is funds for finances. That's funds for travel for our events, things of those nature. And so none of this becomes an accident by the end of the month. So you can actually look and be like, oh, I was under budget or over budget or at budget for these things. So if you fill this in here, like, so say like I went to Safeway yesterday and bought all of our food, or on Sunday, you guys saw that, and I spent $100. It's going to tell me that I did this, and it adds up the total spending of your house at the bottom. The worksheet will do the work for you if you just list the expenses, and then you can figure out how much your expenses are. And then you should have a total goal for where you want to spend your finances on. You can literally list it right here in the total and say, our goal is to spend X amount of money a month. That is our allocated funds. And if we're on track, we'll be doing that. Another one that isn't here, I want to come back to this, is savings. If you're not allocating a certain amount towards savings or have a goal for that, I would really encourage that. And this will also come down here at the bottom. So whatever this total ends up being right here, it will auto-populate in your house total spending. You can list right here what you made total for that month. So most of us know it. A lot of people know what their finances are. They make a certain amount of money each month. Maybe you're on a salary. But in our business, it changes from month to month, within a few $1,000s of each other. And so we will list down what we pay there, and we pay our taxes monthly to make it part of our budget. So I also list the taxes paid, and that'll tell me at the end of the month how much, so if I was to do this, our total income, let's just go like a round number, $10,000 a month. And let's say we spend, let's just change one of these numbers to be like, we spent $7,000 a month to live. Like, that's what all of our expenses added up to. This is what it'll look like. We spent $7,000. We brought in $10,000. Let's say we paid $1,000 in taxes to the IRS, because ours we pay monthly. You guys if you're employed, then you actually, those are taken out of your finances, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just omit the taxes paid place. But at the end of the month, we have $2,000 of excess that should be there that is accounted for. And so what's also cool about that is the amount of the bank account. And let's say that you're trying to, in addition to all the things you're doing, you're trying to maximize and get to $20,000 or $15,000 of savings. Let's just say your bank account is at $10,000 right now. So with that, at the end of the month, you can say, I have $10,000 in the bank. That's what we did this month. We're very conscious of our spending and we're making progress towards our goal. That's how you can utilize this, and you can do it month by month. So February, March, April, it goes through an entire year, and you can start fresh on this document in the new year. So coming back to this, that's how the document works. And if you're just testing this out for the first time, this would be step number 1. Go to this area right here and start figuring out what your household budget is, like where you do this. You might have additional things you'll put in there, but this will give you a really good place. You might not have house cleaners. You might not have a landscaper. Those are things that we don't do really well in our household, so we hire someone to take care of those things. So just figure out all of those things and put them in there as well. And then you can come back to here. This is what I would do day 1 if you're focusing on this, is make your budget so you know where it's at. And then you can start using the monthly tab here. Know your household budget and know what your goals are for that. And that's how you utilize this. So hopefully it's helpful for you. You can reach out to me directly on this. Again, this is not a Take Shape Your Life Optavia document, but it does, but generically, we are encouraged to create and bring intention to what we want to create rather than react, being fully conscious and being the architect of our life. So hopefully this helps you in getting a start on this, because this is something that most people don't get insight on, and most people end up paying lots of money or paying for it to learn it the hard way. So try this out, take this on. If this is easy for you and you're already doing great, this will help you do it at a higher level. If you never learned this at all, try this out, and this will help you start bringing consciousness to this, and hopefully you have a lot of fun with it. I'd be happy to help out anyone that needs some guidance on this or particular questions, so reach out to me. But this is how you get started. This is how the document works, and try it out. It's pretty invigorating to see that you can become the CEO of your own life. So that being said, happy number tracking. Talk to you guys later.